Comfort rarely feels like a problem. It feels earned. It feels reasonable. It feels like a pause that makes sense. Comfort shows up as routines that don't demand much, environments that feel familiar, days that pass without friction, and at first, comfort feels stabilizing. There's less tension, less urgency, less internal noise. But over time, something subtle changes. Life doesn't feel worse. It just stops feeling distinct. Days blur together. Decisions feel optional. Progress feels distant, but not painful. And because there's no clear discomfort, nothing signals that something is wrong. Comfort doesn't announce itself as a trap. It presents itself as relief. That's why people stay inside it longer than they expect. Comfort reduces friction. And friction is how the brain detects change. Without friction, the nervous system stays quiet. Without disturbance, there's no signal to adapt. The brain assumes stability means safety, so it stops scanning for growth. Instead of asking, "What's next?" it asks, "How do I keep this state going?" Comfort doesn't remove effort. It redirects it. Effort goes toward maintaining sameness. Small risks feel unnecessary. New actions feel intrusive. Change feels like disruption, not opportunity. This is why comfort slowly narrows behavior, not through force, but through preference. The mind begins to favor what's predictable over what's meaningful. And because nothing feels urgent, the system never mobilizes. This isn't apathy. It's conservation. The brain is saving energy in a stable environment. The problem is that stability without engagement slowly becomes stagnation. Leaving comfort requires uncertainty, and uncertainty feels expensive. It introduces variables, unknown outcomes, potential regret, so the mind delays. It tells itself, "This is fine for now. I'll change later." There's no rush, and because comfort doesn't hurt, those delays feel harmless. But time passes anyway. The longer comfort remains unchallenged, the more unfamiliar movement becomes. Eventually, action feels like effort, not because it's difficult, but because it breaks the quiet. This is how people become stuck without feeling trapped, not blocked, not failing, just settled into a state that no longer leads anywhere. Comfort doesn't end because you reject it. It ends when the system experiences contrast. When something slightly unfamiliar happens and nothing breaks, that contrast wakes the learning system. Not through motivation, not through pressure, through contact. The brain relearns that movement doesn't equal loss, that disruption doesn't equal danger, that change doesn't destroy stability. And once that learning begins, comfort loosens its grip, not because it was bad, but because it was no longer the only safe option. Comfort isn't the enemy. It's a signal that the system feels safe. But safety alone doesn't produce direction. Direction comes from interaction. And when interaction returns, gently, gradually, clarity follows, not all at once, not dramatically, just enough to feel movement again. If you've been comfortable for a long time and something feels quietly stalled, that doesn't mean you've wasted time. It means the system has been conserving itself. And conservation always makes sense until growth becomes necessary. Comfort doesn't trap people. It simply doesn't lead anywhere on its own.